Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleHorror. Greetings, viewers and listeners. Meat Hook Jim here. Happy 4th of July. With me, of course, my co-host, Donnie Hoover. Donnie, it's a holiday weekend. What is going on?
Oh, man, just trying to get everything ready, getting that pool cleaned up so we can get in there and do some floating around, have some fun. Got the fire pit out. We're ready to go.
And for those of you that don't know, Donnie and I live about 2 hours apart.
Mm-hmm.
So me and the wife are heading up to Donnie's tomorrow for the 4th of July. We're going to hang out in the pool and brainstorm about WrestleHorror, amongst other things, I'm sure, while we're there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a unique situation. We're coming up, or we're going to have a little shindig for the 4th of July, but we're also going to be celebrating 3 birthdays. So the old Hurricane, my granddaughter, her birthday is the 8th. Mine is the 10th, and my mother-in-law's is the 14th. And we just got the news last week that my wife is having spinal surgery on the 6th. And so she's going to be down for 6 weeks to 3 months, they're saying.
Wow.
And so instead of us just celebrating our birthdays on our actual birthdays, we're just combining all 3 of ours, and we're doing it this weekend so we can get them out of the way for her surgery. And we're going to celebrate 4th of July, and you guys are going to come up, and we're going to be in our mankinis in the pool, which, we may have some video. I don't know. We'll find out. Find out how much liquor. Find out how much liquor and moonshine we get in there.
The more I have, the more the chance that mankini is going to show up on a video.
So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just so like I said, it's been a crazy couple weeks getting ready for her surgery and then going through all her testing and getting it all set up. And then I went back to work last week, or this is my first week back to work. So all that was on top of trying to make all her doctor's appointments and everything as well. So it's going to be nice to just let loose for a day and until we get back up to Monday where she's going to be going in.
Well, we're wishing all the best for the surgery, and we know everything's going to go all right. But I've had a crazy couple of weeks myself. Had a couple of health scares that I'm happy to say were unfounded.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me feel much better about the situation, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be around here for quite some time. So
there you go. Definitely good news.
Yeah, definitely. It's a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still part of a lot of it has to do with my weight, which I am still losing. I'm down approximately 60 pounds.
Nice.
It's kind of fluctuating a little bit right now, and I'm starting to build muscle mass, which is actually bringing my weight back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because muscle does weigh more than fat.
The guns get heavy.
But the guns, man, I'm telling you, look at those things. Oh, my gosh.
There you go.
So that and, I don't know. I'm not sure if I told you last time we were on the show or not. My wife built me a deck for my grill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I've got my grill and I got my deck and all is right. But I don't get to use my deck tomorrow because we're going to be at your house.
I'm going to be using my deck, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. We got it ready. We're ready to go. So it's going to be fun.
And, on top of that, you've heard me say it several times on the show, how proud I am of my daughter. She has been training the last 2 weeks. She's been training 4 days a week.
Nice. Getting it in.
She is, and I'm so proud of her. She's lost so much weight in the past year. And she's going to be a force to be reckoned with soon in the wrestling world. I am confident of that.
Oh, yeah. Yep, she keeps working hard. She did the right thing starting right out of the gate by joining Cody's school. So, she got her a good trainer. So she did a smart thing there.
Yeah. We still have some attitude issues we have to work on, but Cody's going to smack her into shape on those, I'm sure.
Well, some of that'll get when Shauna gets her in the ring and gives her a receipt for that broken nose. She'll get a little bit of that attitude adjusted a little bit.
Well, I'm pretty sure she got a receipt because it looks like something happened to hurt Shelby's nose, and she's not saying anything.
Just keeping it quiet. That's probably for the best. Yeah, you got to be able to take them if you give them. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and Donnie, it's been a crazy, not just personally, but it's been a crazy time in the pro wrestling world.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a crazy time in the haunt world. I mean, in the haunt world, so much is going on. Haunts are closing left and right because of this, what the news outlets I listen to like to call the global situation. I've been talking to haunt owners that are planning on going through with their haunts in spite of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also haunts I'm seeing every day. I'm seeing new haunts that are shutting down this year because of the COVID. And
yeah, I just saw somewhere, it was on Facebook or something. I can't remember the names right off the top of my head, but I saw 2 more announce that they were shutting down. So, I mean, that's at least almost a dozen I think I've seen here in the last few months.
Easily. And for those of you that listen that are familiar with the Scare Factor, they're a haunt review site that they're highly regarded in the haunt community. They are putting together a list of haunts that are and are not opening this year.
Oh, that'll be handy for sure.
And it will be an evolving list as they get information. But Tyler and Nora are awesome at compiling all this information, and they've got great rapport with all these haunts all across the country. So keep an eye on scarefactor.com for those lists of open and closed haunts for 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be helping Carnage Haunted House here in Columbus this season, and I don't think I should speak for them personally, but from the way it looks, is they're going to be open and going full bore, just like we had talked about on our last interview with Jason and Mia. Last weekend we were down there and we got the whole framing for the second haunt built and done. And it was, 138 feet long by 36 feet wide. So it's a pretty decent sized second haunt. It's going to turn out to be an infirmary type of deal. So they got the first haunt probably 60-70% done. We just framed out the second one, and they're going full bore, expecting to have a season. So, like I said, that's a good thing on one end, and bad on the other end, all the other ones that are shutting down and calling it quits, which we kind of talked about a few months ago about that happening, and we could see it coming.
And I know when we talked to Jason, he practically twisted my arm and said, I've got to come up and at least work one night.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I probably will. If I can get into one of my old costumes, definitely I will.
Yeah.
Because I've got 10 characters out there and somebody wants to go play, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'll be there, so it'll be a good time. We can get us some WrestleHorror stuff in there, get us some scares, which I'll be running around. Like I said, I'm doing zone captain, and then I'll jump into a room or a drop panel whenever I get the chance and stuff. So I'll be in and out and running around. But I'm sure we'll get in there and have some fun with it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just it's funny. Speaking of scaring people, the other day at work, one of my coworkers is in mall.
Mm-hmm.
I recruited him before I retired from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wearing what I call my stealth sneakers. He was in the warehouse and he was looking at paperwork, and I just come casually walking up behind him. And what I'm about to say, I don't recommend that you say when you're haunting, but I did it just to get a reaction out of him. And I got right up behind him and I went, boo. Right through the ceiling. He had to have jumped 3 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at him and said, dude, you're a haunter. What are you doing?
Yeah, why are you jumping at Boo? Yeah, I mean,
He's
if you
like,
get them at the right time, it's all about timing.
he looked at me and goes, "You said boo. You're not supposed to say boo." I said, well, I'm not running mall anymore. I can say what I want.
Right. Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, and that'll be interesting too if you and Chris and even Shelby come down, because I've never seen you guys in your haunt characters, and just like with Jason and Mia, I've never seen Jason and Mia's haunt character either. So it's going to be interesting seeing all these new characters I haven't got to check out before.
Well, I got plenty of characters. I just have to decide which one. I think if I can find a onesie that will fit me by then, I think I know who I'm going to bring. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, there you go. Sounds good to me. This should be a fun.
So, hopefully more haunts will stay open during the situation, but we'll just have to keep an eye on what's going on. It obviously it affects all aspects of life, and even into the wrestling world. I mean,
Yep.
all the WWE is having a really hard time with cases now, and
Well, we knew that was going to be coming sooner or later.
yeah. But on the other hand, AEW I think's been handling it the right way, because at least they're not reporting any cases.
Yeah.
But I think they've also got different plans in place, different protocols in place, which I think WWE is now implementing. And as for and Impact as well, I'm grateful that all these promotions are still able to put up televised content.
Right.
But you've still got to be 100% safe about it. I mean,
yep. Yeah, and like I said, I have a bad feeling it's going to be like that for a while, what we're seeing now. Because, I mean, I know other states are starting to open up their states for wrestling, but yeah, we're from Ohio. We're in Ohio, and we still can't run events. And they don't know when we're going to be able to. We thought that because they reopened contact sports, so we were under the assumption that meant like we could get back into training our wrestling and all that. And I guess that's not the case. It's the contact sports for like high schools and stuff like that, not for like MMA or wrestling or anything like that. So from what we're finding out, technically, we're not still allowed to even start training yet. And so they're not looking to probably even run wrestling events here in Ohio for, it's going to be in the fall to winter time, maybe not even till 2021. So, I mean, it's, a crazy situation here.
it's crazy. It is nuts. I know everybody was excited when they said they opened contact sports, and it was kind of a big letdown that this happened, where they wouldn't allow us to do the wrestling. But
yeah, and I know there's a few promoters here in Ohio that's been reaching out to our athletic commission, and our athletic commission is responding to them and giving them some information, but it's just not like usable information. It's basically they're saying we're waiting to see what the governor says, and they're basically just sitting and waiting until they get the word. They're not being proactive about anything. So, that just tells me that they're not too concerned about getting pro wrestling back on the grid, in an efficient manner. So yeah, we're not really hopeful for any good events be coming up anytime soon. Like I said, if even, and not until next year. So who knows?
Well, somehow, some way, we're going to keep wrestling alive, even if it's just on our podcast.
Oh yeah.
We've got some plans in place, and that makes a great segue. New Ohio Wrestling. We were discussing this off air, and WrestleHorror, more importantly. We've got some new plans for WrestleHorror moving forward. Why don't you enlighten the listeners as to what we're doing?
Yeah, we're looking to basically continue what we're doing. We're going to stay focused on the wrestling, haunting, horror, Halloween, and to stay in those genres, because that's who we are, and that's what we're going to stay true to. But we're going to ramp it up, and we're going to try to grow this into something bigger than just a podcast. We're going to continue to do our podcast. We're going to continue to do interviews. I want to get into more training type segments to where we focus. We did a few here and there in the past, but I want to get back to that. Do a little more focus training. We want to, just start getting our listeners involved. We want to grow our listener base, get them involved. Maybe do some emails and get some questions coming in or some guests on. We're going to start joining other podcast communities and have other podcasters come on and talk about their stuff. And we're looking to start taking us, to the next level. We're almost at our 50th episode. So we're kind of got our feet sunk in now and kind of getting it all figured out. We're looking to grow and move forward and to expand WrestleHorror into something bigger than just a regular podcast.
Well, I'm right there with you. Obviously, I'm the other half of WrestleHorror, so whatever he said goes double for me.
Yep. Like I said, we'll definitely have a lot of time floating around in the pool to discuss more ideas tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. And apparently I've disappeared from the screen.
Or you're just frozen and giving me a scowl like usual.
No, we'll just leave the scowl there. I don't know what happened to my video. But...
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. But, like I said, we got some ideas, and I knew, we both knew this wasn't going to be a very long episode. We were just kind of wanting to get on here and wish everybody a happy 4th of July and talk about what's going on in wrestling and in haunting and just kind of touch base with everybody. We didn't have any real trainings or guests or anything lined up for today because I know everybody's going to be, like I said, this is the July the 3rd now, so we're going to be recording this and having it out on Monday. I know everybody's going to be busy doing their own thing this weekend, so we just kind of wanted to get on here and touch base and kind of give a little bit of updates of what's going on in our lives, and because I'm sure everybody else's lives are just as hectic as ours, so a lot going on, personal and professional. Like I said, we're doing it whatever we can with wrestling. Not much we can really do at this point. Like I said, in the haunt world, Jim's kind of taking a break and taking a rest back, but still keeping his finger on the pulse of haunting, and I'm helping out Carnage and learning from them and working with them, and excited to learn new stuff. We had our haunted trail, and that's where I first basically took haunting seriously. And so we had an outdoor trail we built from scratch, and that was a 2-year project. I learned a lot there, and now I'm with Carnage, which is an indoor professional haunt, and with people that are very knowledgeable like Jim, and I'm learning a lot from them. So I'm excited to learn a lot for this haunt season. Hopefully we have a good haunt season, as good as we can. And like I said, I got to focus on my wife and her back surgery and get her up and going, and the family and everything else. So it's going to be a crazy next few months here. So the first half of 2020 kicked us in the balls, so hopefully it eases up a little bit.
Or at least uses some lube.
Yeah, something.
And if for those of you that can see the video, Donnie, can you see that picture on the screen now?
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of where the Meat Hook name came from.
Nice. That's who you should bring to Carnage this year.
It might be
him or somebody similar.
But that's me.
Nice.
And believe it or not, that is a mask, not makeup.
Oh, really? Very cool.
It's a silicone mask.
Looks good.
So we're going to try to start my video again, and apparently my video
see what happens.
It's still frozen, isn't it?
It's just a black screen now.
Yeah. Damn video camera. It's a new camera. I'm going to have to break it.
Yep.
Oh, well.
It is.
C'est la vie. Anyway, it's the 3rd of July. I'm going to go get something to drink.
There you go. Whatever reason we can find is good for me.
So we will catch everybody on the next show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Donnie, I will see you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it.
And we're gonna brainstorm while drinking moonshine, which could be bad.
There you go. So we're gonna have some screwed up ideas coming your guys' way.
and please, if you have any suggestions, questions, or comments, what's the email address, Donnie?
WrestleHorror@gmail.com.
There you go. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Nope.
Shoot us an email. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show. We're open to all kinds of criticism, comments, and suggestions.
Yep, for sure. It's the only way we can grow and learn.
That's right. So with that being said, I'm out. Donnie, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Everybody have a great 4th of July weekend.
We will.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media outlets. Facebook.com/WrestleHorror, Instagram @WrestleHorror, Twitter @WrestleHorror, on our YouTube channel, the WrestleHorror channel. Also, you can find us at www.WrestleHorror.com.